Welcome to our lesson of PHP. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the variables. So first off, variables are a kind of thing or a command or a process what happens in PHP. Because in PHP, you will find certain information, data, like a lot of them, and you might want to keep up with it and you don't know how to do that. Okay, so here in this lesson I'm going to be showing you how you will know about the variables, the usage of it, and also how you will get with the pace of variables. So first off, I'm gonna do is change of my contents over here. After I'm gonna change my content, I'm gonna do is obviously put in or use the variables. Okay, so first off, let's try using the br tag. So I'm gonna do is close it off. Let's say I'm gonna cut it. And here I'm gonna type in, this is the first line, and here I'm gonna do is close off my br tag, which is line break. Okay, so I'm gonna put in a space, and I'm gonna open up my tag, close it off, br. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here. You can keep this hr if you want to, but here I'm not gonna use any of those hr and paragraph. Instead, I'm just gonna use the br tag. So I'm gonna do is type in, this is the second line. I'm gonna close it off too. I'm gonna put on my br code again, close it off with my br, and in my paragraph tag I'm gonna do is close it off again. So let's say I'm gonna type in, I didn't like this line. Now I'm gonna do the last thing. I'm gonna put in my br, close it off, and see when I run it without debugging. So I'm gonna run it off. Yes, I'm gonna do is refresh it. And you can see this has appeared over here, and also I have line spaces and line breaks just like I did on HTML. So I'm going to start using my variables right now. Before that, let me just change a bit over here. Let's say over here I'm gonna type in, there was a guy named GG. Okay, GG. And then here I'm gonna type in, he liked to eat apples. Okay, now we have variables. Then let's say I'm gonna type in, he lived in America. I'm gonna copy this. Okay, Control C, make another line, and here I'm gonna type in is, he was 25 years old and his full name was GG Lamar. Okay, now as we're done, I'm gonna do is refresh it. If it's not working, then I have to debug it. So I'm gonna click on this. I'm gonna click on run without debugging. Yes, refresh it. And you can see that we have our text over here. But now I'm going to be showing you about our, let's say, variables. So as you can see that there is a guy named GG. This is going to be the name of the guy. Then what he liked to eat was apples. He lived in America. He was 25 years old and his full name was GG Lamar. So what I'm going to do here is going to be using them as variables. First off, I'm going to do is type in echo. So here I'm going to type in, let's say, put in a $sign. And here in the $sign, I'm going to type in the name. Okay, so let's say character name. Okay, so character name is GG. So I'm going to type in GG over here. So character name is equal to GG. I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to do is make some spaces. Here I'm going to type in double quotation. Let's say this is going to be GG. You can see GG has been put. I'm going to close it off with a semicolon. Hit on enter. Now let's say I'm going to put in character. Let's say character food. Let's just type in character food, even though if it's not, double quotation. I'm going to put in all of those, how those actually work. I'm going to put in that. I'm going to put in double quotation. Let's say apples. Close it off with a semicolon too. I'm going to put on another one. Let's say here it's going to be character country. This double quotation. This is going to be America. Let's just type in USA, which is like a lot easier, even though if it's not like that. So I'm going to do is semicolon. And here I'm going to do is type in the last one, which is going to be dollar, and then character age. Okay, let's say character age, which is over here, space equal double quotation is going to be 25. Now as we have our variables, now we can use those over here. But first off, we're going to refresh it. And I'm going to go over to Visual Studio Code again, and here I'm going to type in those. So here I'm going to type in dollar character name. Now as I have my character name, I'm going to type in dollar over here and see if it works. Dollar character food. And first I'm going to do is launch it up, run without debugging, press on yes, reset, like refresh, and yet you can see that this is being visible. Now you know like how it is like working. So I'm gonna do is remove this first. Here I'm gonna type in, first off, let's just type in this character. Okay, let's just type in dollar character. But I'm gonna open up my web browser, and I'm gonna go over to a Visual Code, run without debugging, press on yes, press on refresh, and yet you can see that this is giving me warning. So that means that the variables are working. Let's just finish out that. So I'm going to do is character country, which you can see character country. Now I'm going to do is going to be run it up, run without debugging, press on yes. Now you can see he lived in USA. That means now you know that the variables are working. I'm going to do the same thing over here on 25 years old. Now here I'm going to do is type in dollar character age. You can see from over here, character age is over here. And I'm going to do the same thing over on GG, which is going to be character name. And I'm going to keep the Lamar, okay, because that is a different thing. So I'm going to do is character. Now, as we're done, I'm going to do is going to be run it without the debugging again. Press on yes. I'm going to do is like refresh it. Now you can see that this has worked. But if I remove a couple of things from over here, let's say I'm going to like remove A from over here and use a small case. And now I'm over here, I'm also going to use a small case. Now I'm going to do is, okay, I'll type it in. Here I'm going to do is run it without debugging. Yes, refresh it. I can see that this is giving me 2 warnings because that isn't how it is supposed to work. Okay, so here what you have to keep in mind that it is case sensitive. So you have to use whichever one you're using as a reference from over here and the one you assigned it to be a variable. So use it, let's say, but here if I change it over here, let's say I'm going to type in N, and over here I'm going to type in A. Here I'm going to change it N, okay? And I'm going to do is run it with debugging or without debugging, press on yes, refresh it. Now you can see that this is still working, okay? So you have to keep in mind that the characters or the cases, how you are assigning it to be a variable. Because if you are not cautious about that and if it's not the same, then obviously it will not work. So hope you understood about how you will be able to use variable. Let's show you another variable over here. Now you can also use symbols and all of those together too. So I'm going to take it up over here. Let's say GG and then I'm going to type in, let's say over here, double quotation, GG. Here I'm going to put in a question mark like this. Now let's say I'm going to put in a question mark in between them two. I'm going to do is run it without debugging, press on yes. I'm going to open it up on my web browser, refresh it. I can see I also have my symbols over here. See, there was a guy named GG. It's like a question. Okay, so whatever you put, or assign it as a variable, everything is going to be visible inside of the text so that it is visible on your screen. And that is how you'll be able to use variables on PHP and use it for like various purposes too. So let's move on to the next lesson.